Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, it is I am the one and only, Ray the Flying Squirrel here.
And I'm Mighty the Armadillo here. Welcome you all back for the likes of the Maxi Toys videos once again.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more of Let's Play of Super Mario Advance 4, Super Mario Bros. 3 for the Game Boy Advance. So, last time we've essentially did not only trying to able to complete World 3, but also with World 4 as well. So meaning about the fact that similar to the Super Nintendo version from the likes of the Super Mario All-Stars compilation, we did somehow manage to able to complete both of those worlds in the last video. So because of this though, we're actually doing quite well, all things considered. Well, usually relatively speaking, despite how Mighty still needs able to go after more lives potentially, but as a result of that kind of stuff though, about the fact that since I've got about, I don't know, 25 lives so far,
well, usually like you said before, I've only got 12 lives left. So because of this though, hopefully I'll try to grind as many of those 1-ups as much as I can. So
yeah, anyway, so today for this video is about the fact that we're going to be continuing things on throughout the game and head on to the forms of World 5, known as the Sky. Well, usually in the beginning though, you still need to able to go into the grassy section first, and then later on though, that as soon as you're able to get into a Spiral Tower section, basically we will be able to come across into the actual sky of clouds, or should I say, the sky itself. So either way though, but there is one little catch to this version this time around though, is about the fact that, well, you probably already know what's to be expected coming, until whenever we come across into that particular Spiral Tower bit. So either way though, so it looks like that Mighty did somehow manage to finish the first level already during the Advance within World 5, despite he did manage to lost his Fire Flower, but
at least I might be alright with that, I guess, right?
So now it's my turn for me to take on the, well, the second stage, and I think I'm also able to go ahead and hover for a bit, and just to ensure I will be able to actually skip a good chunk of the level, similar to the forms of how it does it on the NES version, because I was quite surprised about the fact that we never actually did this on the Super Nintendo version. Well, mind you, about the fact that now you're able to actually just realize that how I usually prefer going in the fastest method, like this one right here. So that way, not only does it gives me the ability to able to skip a good chunk of the level, but also about the fact that I can give myself some benefit for the doubt when it comes to able to not to go through this entire frustration here and there. So either way, yeah. So there goes my another Starman card, so I've only just got about one more Starman card left until I boost myself with even more 1-ups. So, relatively speaking though, I think I actually did a pretty substantial job, I might add.
And meanwhile for me, I'm going after a Tanuki suit as well. So, relatively speaking though, about the fact that, well, potentially speaking though, about the fact that it's been about roughly 3 days ago since we've actually last played this, so yeah, relatively speaking though, everything else will be pretty much accounted for the sake of, like, you know, trying to utilize saying this, so. And I see you really desperately want to get rid of those Hammer Bros, aren't you? Well, just to ensure that we're able to clear out the path, so, oh, nice, I got myself my P-Wing, so how's that for that?
So yeah, a few things we want to explain for this point today, and that is that while today's date, of course, is the 6th of November today, in this case in 2023 today, we would like to able to discuss upon something like related to games and all that stuff, but I think we should probably save that in a later time though, mainly because about the fact that, well, I suppose that me and Mighty have both forgot to mention about throughout the course of this entire Let's Play of Super Mario Advance 4, Super Mario Bros. 3. That is about the fact that, relatively speaking, we were able to celebrate whole tons of the forms of those anniversaries from certain films releases between 1983, 1993, and 2003, and possibly 2013. So, relatively speaking though, I think we should probably save that conversation once we get to the Sky portion of the world, so. And I have no idea why somehow just playing quite recklessly, I suppose, but now I somehow managed able to go myself a Kuribo shoe. or to be more specifically a Goomba Shoo more like, so that way I can able to actually protect myself from not only for certain Spinies, but also with those Piranha plants, and especially noticeable with those particular Munchie-like Piranha, I don't know what you would call these enemies right there, because it's been, you know what I mean, a very long time since we've actually last played Super Mario Bros. 3 entirely, since on the Super Nintendo version, like we've already established that before, since on Friday. So either way though, well, the only time noticeable exception to this though is that, well, it seems so far we've never actually stumbled across into ourselves special guests this time around, unlike the Super Nintendo version that we somehow... Oh, jeez. Can I possibly... Ah! I screwed myself up for getting the forms of the 3 Starman cards! Oh well, I'll take a 1-up, I guess. I mean, better than nothing, I guess.
Alright, so what I'm gonna do here is that I'm gonna be taking on the forms of this tower level.
Almost first thought you're gonna be taking over the forms of that particular Hammer Bro right there.
Well, straight to the point, I'm also able to get this level finished before we hit into the Forms of the Sky portion of the world. So, as far as like we already established that earlier, so... Oh, that was a bad idea, because that form did somehow manage to able to caught me off guard while I was trying to obtain the Super Leaf, but regardless of such though, invincibility frames doesn't seem to last forever, so...
Yeah, because I think we've already come across into that on, not only on the NES version, but also on the, you know, the Super Nintendo version as well. And also I just realized about something, we've never actually played through the Famicom version of the game. Well, it's basically the same thing, except with some quite slight changes here and there. Like, for instance, with the damage input, and on top of that, just some slight alterations when it comes to certain things, so...
Alright, so it looks like I've completed the first tower level in World 5.
Yeah, and eventually certain worlds might get a bit lengthier and longer as far as proceeding as far as this is concerned. So either way, now it's my turn to play a bit of a card game to deal with, so... And exponentially, I'm also able to complete the whole set. Well, assuming of course I don't make a mistake like this, but now I can able to get the rest of the set, ranging between the Mushroom and the Starman. Hooray! The actual card flipping game is complete. Now, of course, that the thing will reset after a while. So, assuming, of course, they'll able to actually make that thing reappearing. So, yeah, I apologize for that particular commentary mistakes right there because I somehow got distracted by that particular Hammer Bro I do need to get rid of. So, but of course, there might be still some Hammer Bros in somewhere in the clouds above. So. Yeah, don't expect this is gonna be over when it comes to those Hammer Bros in mind, so...
Alright, so let's see if I can get my 1-ups this time. Come on. Hey, about time.
Yep, so you've now got 14 1-ups. So, either way though, everything else... Wait a minute, I just see something for a brief second ago.
Oh, what's that exactly?
Yeah, I suppose we'll probably discuss more details on that later. So either way, and something tells me you're about to be able to use the frog suit for some reason in the forms of the Spiral Tower level. Now here's the thing about the forms of this version this time around, unlike the forms of how it does it on the NES version, as well as the Super Nintendo version, is that normally, if you managed able to win through this entire level for the first time, you know, with the Spiral Tower level, well, aside from the fact that there's no boss fight around here, or the actual, panel cards you can be able to obtain, but usually, relatively speaking, if you manage to make your way to the continuation of the entire world map of the sky, basically, normally you get yourselves another turn, like usually if you manage able to dive right into the next level in the actual clouds of the skies above. In this version this time around though, it's a bit opposite this time, because relatively speaking, since that Mighty's going to be going for this entire stage after all, and myself included until when it gets to my turn, and basically what happens is that as soon as when Mighty completely done with this level, basically as soon as you're able to get onto the beanstalk, basically if he goes into the pipe, and this happens. Basically, we now have an option to save, and there's no second turn during the forms of after when you complete the level. So, yeah, it's kind of strange for that particular change, mind you, but at least it might take a bit of a while to get used to, so...
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Yeah, I digress. So, I suppose I should probably mention about this right now, I guess. It's about the fact that, well, for those of you who don't know, about the fact the matter is, though, is about the fact that, well, I can't believe by saying this, is that, relatively speaking, when it comes to the forms of, well, in terms of anniversary stuff in mind, well, I'm pretty certain about the fact the matter is, though, is that recently, in terms of 2003 selections of movies, which there are, both, Brother Bear, alongside with the forms of The Matrix Revelations, or Revelations, I think is what it says anyway. Basically, both of those films has recently became 20 years old just recently. So because of this, though, according to the actual, the time of this uploading schedule alike, oh, and on top of that, and during at some point during the film's event, possibly tomorrow, I suppose, that both of those Christmas-themed related films, which are Love Actually and Elf, are both will eventually become 20 years old until by that time until tomorrow. So either way, though, yeah, time flies, you know? And something tells me about the fact that with that particular one-up slot machine, as we've already come across into quite a few times in the past few videos ago, something tells me with that particular shape of that particular icon has changed. So I believe something tells me about the fact that we actually stumbled across into ourselves the heart symbol, which I think something tells me about the fact that I think it actually evolves around in one of those four relatable shapes. Like, for instance, we've already come across into, you know, spade shape, and obviously about the fact that we've now come across into the heart shape, and then I think something tells me in order able to proceed to the next shape, which appears to be by the forms of club, and possibly finally the diamond shape. Basically, I think something tells me you do need able to be, well, perfect in journey forms of that particular slot machine game or something. So, yeah, I guess that probably explains it or something. But either way, now it's time for me to take on this level, so we're also able to check in here just to see what's in here. And something tells me not only does it give me coins, but Tanuki suits, which thankfully I've managed to go back after getting hit quite a few times. So, that should be all good for me anyway. So, oh jeez, that was definition of the close call right there, as far as I'm noticing this, and I'm probably not going to pick up— oh no, there goes my Tanuki suit! Being so hasty again.
Well, so much to the point about the fact that you could have able to get a very, very good chance to able to get to that point. Oh, hello!
Wait a minute, is that supposed to be a treasure ship? Holy cow, that is the most rarest thing we've ever gone through so far.
Yeah, especially concerning about the fact that we've been waiting for this for so long, and I think I'm also able to go ahead and anyway.
Oh, don't tell me you've got yourselves— oh, you just got a cloud item! So this means you might as well skip the level, right?
Yep, I think I might as well do that right now, because I'm gonna go after even more coins, so I beat you to it.
Oh, you sneaky armadillo! Anyway, so this is what the treasure ship looks like. It is incredibly a rare thing to come by, and basically it's just all about the forms of the oldest scrolling level, and all it does is basically it just, you know, brings you to a lot of coins to collect, and on top of that, it might actually give you a special item if you do manage to able to complete this particular treasure ship. And I think something tells me if you do die, I believe the treasure ship will be gone. So again, it's incredibly rare to able to come across into. Well, alongside with the forms of the White Toad House, which is also very rare. And I think that's as far as we can able to talk about this, because either way, it's just pretty cool to see treasure ship in action. So either way though,
and hooray, I got my extra 1-up, thanks to you forms of that hidden block.
Yeah, I was incredibly jealous for able to realize that you just somehow go into this level before me.
Well, yes I do, because relatively speaking, I somehow got a music box. How random is that? Because relatively speaking, now we've actually taken care of the rest of those Hammer Bros in the entire world.
And I think I might also go ahead and grind some more extra lives, because since about the fact, as I mentioned this earlier, we've now come across into a heart shape of that particular slot machine, and basically, the dialogue itself actually changed, thanks to the forms of Toad right here, and basically we come across into a new icon, which appears to be a leaf icon, which if you do manage to able to get this right, basically you get yourselves 7 1-ups. So, speaking of such, I managed to get some. Haha! Woo! That was actually very generous on my part, so now I'm actually on 34 1-ups. And also, the shape has changed into club, because I think something tells me we will come across into the special effect, if we do manage to able to play that slot machine, coming up. So, I believe something tells me we will come across into a special, reward, which appears to be a 3, which, again, we'll talk more details about that once we're able to continue proceeding for this world, so... Speaking of which, though, is about the fact that recently, for those of you who lived in North America and stuff like that, well, suffice to say, happy 10th anniversary of the celebration for the release. Oh, I've never actually been there before. Well, mind you, it's almost like a very standard, environment at first, although, kind of thinking about it, it does kind of reminds me of World 1 a little bit, even though I accept the fact that I've somehow, for whatever reason, tossed a shell right on the wall, and I somehow deserve a death, so, whoops. I was not paying attention to that particular momentum right there, but I suppose that usually it's kind of weird.
Anyway, I might as well go after the next item, which is the fire flower, so hopefully I should able to... Well, I don't know if I can probably able to get to the 3rd column anytime soon, but either way, I'm also hit into level 6. Oh yeah, the auto-scrolling level with the forms of those parabeetles you have to utilize with, so... Anywho though, so yeah, happy 10th anniversary when it comes to the celebration of the release of New Super Mario Bros. U plus New Super Luigi U double pack on the Wii U version. So, can't even believe it's been 10 years ago since Journey Forms that, you know, the double pack has first came out. Journey Forms have been 2013 after the standalone release of New Super Luigi U, and not only for its digital download for DLC, but also the forms of the standalone physical copy here and there as well. Well, mind you about the fact that every now and then that most customers out there, or even potentially speaking, all those other players have already experienced the actual New Super Mario Bros. U plus New Super Luigi U double pack, thanks to the forms of that particular Wii U bundle back in 2013 as it is. So either way though, because chances are though, strangely enough though, we've never actually come across into that particular edition to ourselves, because obviously we somehow got ourselves the standalone version covers from the likes of not only New Super Mario Bros. U, but also New Super Luigi U as well. Because relatively speaking though, we just love the actual cover arts, you know, with the actual physical copies and such. Yeah, I couldn't help with myself about the fact that how nice and colorful they are, so...
But, because, you know, we are still biased when it comes to likely preferring physical stuff as opposed to digital stuff, because obviously it takes up a lot of space, like if you manage to able to download stuff digitally. So either way though, and I think something tells me you got 5 more extra lives thanks to the forms of that particular Starman card.
Yes, exactly, because I did somehow manage to able to realize that I somehow managed to able to avoid, you know what I mean, the most annoying enemy in this world, and especially noticeable until the next world as well, which you probably already know what I'm talking about, and that is of course the Flame Chop.
Ah, yes, I know exactly what you mean. Especially concerning about the fact it's a good thing I've never actually choose level 6, because I somehow choose level 7 instead. And I was literally so close to able to get myself another Starman card, if I get the chance this time around. I'm hoping so anyway.
Well, mind you still got a lot of extra lives at this point, so...
yeah, I suppose that might be seems the case.
Alright, let's just go in and... oh, come on!
This is actually the second time this happens.
Yup, ever since on the Super Nintendo version, so... oh, jeez, that was a really awful jump I just pulled off.
But either way, now it's time for my turn to do this level at the very least, so... anywho, so... although I would like to able to mention about the forms of another stuff and during later on though, but I think I should probably save that until 2 days time roughly. So either way, time to able to... oh jeez, I somehow managed to win through the lava in a Starman, so how weird and nonsensical will that be? So either way, let's just go ahead and be very careful not to get hit by not only those boos, but also those plotted boos or fireballs in general. So either way, and make sure to jump at the right moments, because if you fell in the lava, you have to start all over again. Because, as I said before, no checkpoints at all, so yeah, you have to do this on one specific run. So, there we go. We've somehow completed the second tower level, and only 3 more levels to go until the Sky World is completed. And of course, we'll save the game.
And I'm also able to go after that particular club symbol to able to grind even more 1-ups.
And this is what we come across into ourselves, the much more rarest thing of the bunch though, and that is about the fact that this is actually an opportunity for you that you can get 10 1-ups thanks to forms of a symbol of a number 3, representing the forms of the Super Mario Bros. 3 game title. And look at that, you somehow succeed, so now you've actually catch up to me of the extra lives department.
Hooray for me! I'm the best armadillo ever, or should I say the best player, and something tells me the shape is now changed to diamond. So yeah, I believe what the diamond one does is that I'm pretty sure it goes like completely random, so I'm pretty sure you can get either the well, you might as well able to actually see it for yourself until whenever we get to the next part in Journey Forms of this playthrough. So either way though. Oh, and on top of all that stuff though is about the fact that, oh Jesus Louise, why does this Lakitu hate me so much? Alright, let me go ahead and get that particular mushroom right there. Oh, screw you. Oh, okay, alright. Oh, you could have at least managed able to give me a fair chance, Lakitu. But hey, at least I complete this regardless.
That was completely unexpected with all that particular weird thing is going on at this for the sake of time. So, anywho, so now it's my turn for me to take on level 9, and something tells me about the fact there's another auto-scrolling segment, so... Also, I just found this very odd is about the fact that when it comes to, you know, New Super Mario Bros. U plus New Super Luigi U combo pack, for the Wii U version anyway, that it never saw the light of day in the Japanese version for some reason. But I do definitely heard about the fact that not only does it also came out in Australia, but also in the forms of the European countries as well, but also in the Brazilian as well, during the forms of the 26th of November, which I found was a little bit odd, to able to actually have the Brazilian release of the actual 2 games in one pack or something like that. And, oh, talk with the devil, we come across into that stupid flame chomp, so, yeah, I wasn't expecting to see that coming, now that you've mentioned to me about this earlier. So, either way, I do apologize if my commentary is a bit slightly iffy at points because my tongue itself has got twisted, so... And look at that, I've got 5 more extra lives, so... I'm the best when it comes to timing involved.
Alright, so it's now my turn to take on the Airship Fortress level in World 5, and the next Koopaling we're about to take on is this supposed to be Roy?
Yeah, I'm presuming that the next Koopaling you're about to take on is of course Roy, so that pretty much expected for this point, especially that, you know, we've already experienced the NES version and the Super Nintendo version potentially, so...
And unfortunately, once again, our computer starts to lag again, so we definitely need to fix that at some point.
Yeah, especially concerning about the fact that I can assure you that since we're now on to the halfway point in the main Super Mario Bros. 3 game, before we move on to the forms of the extra world we can probably get into in this version of the game. But then again, we'll save that conversation at a later time, or to be more specifically, until next week, if potentially so.
But again, we shall see what happens in due time.
Oh, and on top of all that specific topic in mind, about the fact that Manuisto, I'm pretty certain that during at some point on, I would say on Saturday the 11th of November this year, that it will mark the 10th anniversary of the release of Monsters University on DVD, at least specifically in the UK version. Well, at least if I was assuming so anyway, because it's been quite a long time since we actually last watched Monsters University, because, relatively speaking though, about the fact that Manuisto will probably save that conversation in the future. So either way, yep, so it looks like you're about to take on Roy Koopa, and this is where the part that he now starts to able to activate the an earthquake syndrome. So either way, you did somehow manage to kick his butt, no problem.
And that pretty much does it for World 5, so...
Yep, only 3 more worlds to go, plus the extra worlds that we will discuss on that in the future. So either way, yeah, it's actually getting pretty swell, if I have to say so. Especially concerning that I just can't even believe that Mighty did somehow come across into this rare treasure ship, and on top of that, 10 1-ups in the actual slot machine. Well, at least I did somehow manage to get even more extra lives with that 7 1-ups thing. So, that's better than nothing, I guess, at least from my personal standpoint, but hey.
At least we did pretty well.
So, that being said though, we got the endings off here, so join us next time for more of Let's Play of Super Mario Advance 4, Super Mario Bros. 3. Instead, we are moving on to World 6, which appears to be Iceland. So, oh, it's gonna be chilly all of a sudden. So I'll see you guys on Wednesday.
Later, fellas.